when I look back now, my knowledge was next to zero. But I had this misplaced confidence that I knew more than I did, and that I knew enough to set up this business. But I think I had enough knowledge that I could, interview people about short-term rentals, at least do an impression of somebody who knew what they were talking about. And I think through running House Planner, I've learned so much. I've met so many industry experts like you, of course, Niels, spoken to people who've been at the front end of this industry for a long, long time. And it's been wonderful. It's been a brilliant learning experience for me. But I think being a host helps me to create the content which I know hosts and property managers are looking for, because if I was in their shoes, I'd definitely be subscribed to Host Planner, and this is the content that I'd want to listen to and read about. What everything boils down to when you're creating content is knowing who your audience is and creating content accordingly. Being really, really clear. It's a little bit like direct bookings and being very, very clear about who your target guest is. And it's exactly the same when you're creating content. With Host Planner, for example, everything has to be about short-term rentals. Everything has to revolve around, right, how are we helping short-term rental hosts, property managers, and industry professionals? Somebody suggests a podcast guest or a blog which is not related to that subject, is not related to our North Star as a business, then it's a waste of time and it can't go on our channel. So it's about creating the right content for your target audience. That's how you become a really valuable niche platform, and you can never sway from that. And frankly, it's the same whether you're creating content for a World Cup organizing committee or you're creating it for short-term rentals. It really is the same.
I think the same principles apply also in product development, actually. Like, focus on the customer, decide who you're selling to, and keep making for them.
One of the reasons why House Planner has probably grown quite a lot is because the industry itself is changing everywhere. Regulation and tax has changed beyond recognition. I mean, in the UK over the last 5 years, we've had the abolishment, for example, of the furnished holiday let tax regime. And this has forced people, whether they are part-time hobbyist hosts or whether they're doing this properly, to really start educating themselves and learning about the sector and getting involved a bit more, perhaps with lobby groups like the STAA or PASC here in the UK, or the ASSC up in Scotland. Yeah, I think the big change is that people have kind of been forced into learning about what's happening in the industry and why changes are being made. And that's driving the industry forward. I think it's becoming more professional. It's becoming more mature.